Welcome to a beautiful night from Fenway. It's finally a little bit warm. Tonight it's the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox in Game 1 of a 3-game series. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the reigning Western Division champion, the Oakland A's, are here. They have 18 wins, leading the American League in that category, and they're red hot.
Yeah, they're playing very good baseball right now, and they just come off a series in Texas where they manhandled the Texas Rangers, and that's why they're in first place in the American League West. Look what they did to the Rangers in the last 3 games. Outscored them 25-4, a .315 team batting average, and 12 for 30 with runners in scoring position. Of course, that's been a problem for the Red Sox, runners in scoring position. 2 guys that had a great series. Coco Chris was leading off tonight, 5 for 13 in that series, and Derek Norris, who was not in the starting lineup tonight, was 5 for 10. So they've got a couple of guys that were really hot in that series, and they played great baseball. They've got terrific pitching staff. They've got very good hitting. Their defense is kind of so-so, but a tough challenge for the Red Sox over this weekend.
Red Sox certainly looking to bounce back after losing both ends of the day-night doubleheader yesterday against the Tampa Bay Rays. And the guy to get it done tonight will be Clay Buchholz. We'll talk more Clay Buchholz. We return to Fenway Park right after this. With everybody, I'm Don Orsillo. Well, Clay Buchholz so far this season did not have a victory in his first 4 appearances, had 2 losses and 2 no decisions. But last time out against the Toronto Blue Jays, even though he gave up 3 quick runs, seemed to turn it around, ended up with some very good run support and pitched very well after giving up the 3 runs. He would go on to get his first victory of the year, and he comes into tonight's action at 1-2 with an ERA over 6. We go back in time to check in with our sideline reporter tonight with Tom Caron, who's got more.
Thanks, Don. It's Flashback Friday. They've got me on the sidelines here tonight. Adam Pellerin taking care of business back in studio. You talked about that outing for Clay Buchholz up in Toronto. 3 runs in the first inning, but as you said, settled down very well after that. 6 scoreless innings to ultimately get that first win of the year. Pitching better and looking stronger as the game went along. It was his longest start of the year. In tonight's Geico quote of the day, manager John Farrell said he and pitching coach Juan Nieves liked what they saw as that game unfolded at Rogers Center.
It was probably the first time since last June, before he went down and missed a large portion of last year, that he pitched with that aggressiveness and that assertiveness. So it took him a couple innings to reestablish a release point with that added tempo. But I think more importantly, with each added inning he pitched last time out, there was better overall action to his stuff, better feel for his curveball in particular, and we're looking for that to continue here tonight.
That was John Farrell on Friday Night Fenway, joining me live on the show. Now, it'll be the chance for Clay Buchholz to go 2-0 lifetime at home against the Oakland A's, but he hasn't seen the Athletics in more than 2 years, so a very different lineup that Buchholz will see tonight. Getting ready for it on the field. Don, let's go back up to you.
All right, CC, thanks very much. Well, Dustin Pedroia and the Red Sox limbering up and trying to turn things around tonight against the Oakland A's. We're back with the first pitch from Fenway right after this. lines. Your local Mazda dealers, Dunkin' Donuts, your Subaru dealers of New England, and by Sullivan Tire and Auto Services. A beautiful night tonight in Boston as the Red Sox and Oakland A's get ready for tonight's first game of the three-game series. Very comfortable conditions, especially the way things have been over the last week and really so far the first month of the season. We take a look at the conditions tonight. It is 67 degrees as we get it started, some 20 degrees higher than it was here yesterday. Wind direction out to right field at 11 miles per hour, and the forecast is partly cloudy for the remainder of the night as the Red Sox welcome the AL West Oakland A's for the first time this year. And the Red Sox trying to bounce back after it turns out they lose 2 out of 3 to the Tampa Bay Rays in both ends of the day-night doubleheader. Red Sox will be on their Friday night red uniforms as they are at home, and the Oakland A's brought in by Bob Melvin. They've got 18 wins. That's the most in the American League, not just the West, but the league itself. Bob Melvin has done a terrific job with the Oakland A's, been in the postseason each of the last 2 years, and trying to get back there again for the third straight year. Of course, it was the Tigers beating them the last 2 seasons after the American League Division Series. They have a 3-game lead over the team they just swept in Texas, the Rangers, with the Angels 3.5 games back, and the Mariners and Astros 5 and 9 games back, respectively, in the AL West. Now, the Red Sox are taking the field tonight, and as they do, let's check out Bob Melvin's Oakland A's starting 9 tonight. Coco Crisp is leading off and in center field. You see a lot of former Red Sox. That includes Jed Lowry batting second at shortstop. Josh Donaldson at third base bats third, with Brandon Moss at first base in the cleanup spot. Yoenis Cespedes in left field. Alberto Callaspo is the DH batting sixth, with Josh Reddick in right field batting seventh. John Jaso does the catching eighth, and Eric Sogard at second base bats ninth for the Oakland A's. Tonight's Red Sox starting pitcher is presented by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. Clay Buchholz on the mound, making his 6th start of the year. He comes in at 1-2 with a 6.66 earned run average, 19 strikeouts to 6 walks, and opponents hitting at .339 against him. Against the A's, 2-2 in his career with a 7.90 earned run average in 6 career starts.
Now, the Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 10th in the league with 22 errors in 29 games. Will Middlebrooks will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second, and Mike Napoli, the first baseman. Left to right, Grady Sizemore, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Shane Victorino. And A.J. Brzezinski gets the start behind the plate, catching Clay Buchholz.
The umpiring crew tonight, the crew chief, who's just here with another crew but is back. Jeff Kellogg is in behind the dish calling the balls and strikes, with DJ Rayburn at first base. Mark Rippinger is the umpire at second, and Dan Bellino the umpire at third. This game is available in Spanish. The SAP function is brought to you by the new Captain Morgan White Rum.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Comfortable conditions here at Fenway Park. Not a lot of long shirts being worn among the players on the field tonight, which is pretty unusual for the way things have gone. But Terry, we talked about it off the top. Certainly the Red Sox need some timely hitting here at some point. They've got enough guys on base. It's just bringing them in right now for John Farrell.
I would agree, and John Farrell would agree. He was talking about that in his meeting today with the media prior to the ball game. Is they need some clutch hits, and they're getting men in scoring position. They're not getting the big hit with runners in scoring position with 2 outs or with anybody out, as a matter of fact, and it's really hurt them. So, as I said in a view from the booth, it kind of has a trickle-down effect. Once somebody does it and they start to get hot with it, it continues and continues, and hopefully it starts tonight.
Here is Coco Crisp, who starts it off for the Oakland A's. He hits a .278 with 3 homers and 11 runs driven in. Crisp always setting the table here for the Oakland A's. It was a big part of their 3-game series domination over the Texas Rangers. It was 5 for 13 in that series. First pitch of the ball game is in there for strike one, and we're underway.
Middlebrooks in very tight at third base on the grass for Coco Crisp, who does like to bunt.
And if he gets on, he's been stealing bases this year, 7 for 7 in stolen bases. Line and caught by Pedroia at second base for the first out of the ball game. Sharply hit, but right at Pedroia.
You mentioned it, Don. Coco Chris swinging the bat very well, especially in that Texas series, and a line shot to start this game, but right at Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia to his left with the glove. Takes a base hit away from Crisp.
Well, one out for old friend Jed Lowry, who stands in here. Lowry did not play on Wednesday, so back-to-back days off for Lowry in preparation for this series. Overall at 286 as he takes a pitch for a strike on the outside corner. And Clay Buchholz, who got off to the rocky start against that good Toronto Blue Jays lineup, but really settled in and pitched very well last time out. Yeah. Probably the best time this year.
I would agree, Don. I thought after the first couple of innings, it's the best he's pitched so far this season.
Lowry ranking third in the American League in on-base percentage coming in, as Buchholz calls out A.J. Pierzynski, and those two are going to get together. Red Sox starting the game 3 games back of the New York Yankees in the American League East. Boston 13-16 with the 2 losses yesterday. They had got within a game of getting back to 500, but was dropping both ends of the doubleheader yesterday, and they slide to 13-16 and a tie with Tampa Bay. Lowry on a check swing. Did he go? No. This is Dan Bellino.
Cut fastball this time from Buchholz, and Lowry, no. He did not go on that swing or attempted swing.
Lowry, very patient hitter per usual. He's third in the American League in walks right now, 20 in the month of April. Does not have one yet in May.
Yeah, 20 walks, 13 strikeouts for Lowry.
Josh Donaldson waiting on deck. Just off the inside edge, 3-1.
Buchholz with the 2-seam fastball that time, just missing the inside corner. Pierzynski tries to pull it back.
That one does come back, and it's a full count now. 92 on the fastball from Buchholz. I mentioned the record for Buchholz against Oakland, 2-2, but he's did not face them last year at all in the season series. This is to right. Victorino back, and will get there for out number 2. Shin got a good jump in. It stays in the yard. 2 down. Well, fans, you can test your Red Sox IQ right now with the MLB Preplay mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season. Compete one-on-one with other Red Sox fans for a chance to win the Preplay Triple Crown. Tonight's Preplay predicts that Clay Buchholz will go 6 innings, allowing 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. 2 down for Josh Donaldson. Off the end of the bat, foul, and behind the Red Sox dugout. Donaldson off to the 279 start, but the power number, 7 homers, 23 runs batted in. Big year for him last year, and hitting right in the middle of this Oakland A's order. Elevating is Buchholz, and Donaldson chases 0-2.
A live fastball that time by Buchholz at 93 miles an hour.
Let's take a look at our Chevy key player. Donaldson has 6 road home runs this year. 6 of the 7 that he has. Second most in the American League, only behind Albert Pujols. 0-2 is popped up. Foul ground as Pierzynski comes back towards the seats, and A.J. won't have a play. Donaldson has reached base safely via hit or walk in each of his last 23 games. It's the 3rd longest streak right now in the majors, and it is behind Jose Bautista's 28, Mike Napoli's 24 straight games. Has had trouble defensively, though. 6 errors at third base, most by any American League third baseman as he strikes out. Nice pitch from Buchholz down and away. First K. No score after half an inning. Top of the first inning. Red Sox coming up in the bottom of the first, and Dustin Pedroia leading it off for Boston. Pedroia, Victorino, and Ortiz to bat in the inning. Dan Straley on the mound tonight for the Athletics. He starts this series and starts his 6th game of the year. 1-1 with a 5.14 earned run average. Well, it's hitting at .243 against Straley as this one's cranked foul to the end of the dugout. Now Dustin coming in hitting at .267 on the year. No homers and 6 runs batted in. Ended up going 2 for 9 yesterday in both games of the day-night doubleheader. 3 for 14 so far in the homestand for Boston.
Now, one thing to look for tonight from Straley, he's given up a lot of home runs. 7 home runs so far this season, at least 1 in every start that he has made.
This one fouled back to the right, full count. Well, baseball is back in season, so gather 20 or more of your friends, family, and coworkers for a group outing at Fenway and secure exclusive access to seats. Call 877-RED-SOX-9 or visit redsox.com/groups for more information. Full count here to Dustin Pedroia to lead off the bottom of the first. And Dustin will take the walk on down to first base. Let's check out the rest of the Red Sox starting 9 tonight, as Dustin Pedroia has led off. At second base with Shane Victorino batting second in right field. David Ortiz, the DH. Mike Napoli's at first base in the cleanup spot, with Grady Sizemore in left field. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop bat sixth. A.J. Pierzynski doing the catching seventh. Will Middlebrooks at third base, and Jackie Bradley Jr. bats eighth and in center field, as Dustin Pedroia has himself a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the first inning. Now Shane Victorino takes strike one, the high strike call. Shane at .296, no homers and 3 runs batted in.
Straley last year made 5 different trips to the Oakland Ball Club and 27 starts total with a 10-8 record.
Torino quickly down 0-2 in a good series against Tampa Bay. Was 6 for 12 in the series, and of course had the 4-hit performance in the first game of the series against Tampa Bay. And he strikes out. Straley takes care of him very quickly for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Let's take a look at the Oakland defense. They are 13th in the league, 25 errors in 28 games. Donaldson at third base, Lowry the shortstop, Sogard at second, and Moss at first. Cespedes in left field, Coco Chris the center fielder, and Josh Reddick the right fielder. John Jaso doing the catching for Straley.
Yeah, you can say that is the one area that they are not good in.
Yeah, they've had a tough time defensively. 13 out of 15 teams in the American League.
They stack it up defensively on the right side here for David Ortiz into the shift. Big Poppy toting the .250 average, 5 homers and 16 runs batted in. Shows the bunt and gets away from Jaso. Not that far away though for Pedroia to try it. Last year, the tale of two seasons really formed all those times up and down to Oakland. But he was 6-2 prior to the All-Star break, but then went 4-6 in the second half of the year. Ortiz fouls it off to the left out of play, and it's 1-1 now to Big Poppy.
Outfield very deep all the way around against Ortiz, especially Coco Crisp in center field. You can see the pull in the infield. 3 players on the right side of the infield.
Bob Melvin at the helm of these Oakland A's, and of course in the postseason each of the last 2 years, and each of the last 2 years running into Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer and the Detroit Tigers. Outside for ball 2, 2-1. But they have been the class of the West, and primarily because of their pitching year in and year out. It's amazing.
They just keep bringing up new names, and they all seem to have great success.
And the guy who we're going to see on Sunday in the finale of the series may be their best name to come up. That is Sonny Gray, who has been terrific and league leader in earned run average. We'll see him Sunday. Gray will be matched up against John Lackey tomorrow. Tommy Malone against John Lester in game 2 of the series. And again, we will play day baseball on Saturday and again on Sunday. Throw to first, and Pedroia back to the bag. Brandon Moss holding on Pedroia at first base. In the air down the left field line as Cespedes heads over towards the seats, and he will make the catch. And fair ground for the second out as Pedroia goes back to the bag. So Cespedes making the grab, 2 down. Do you love going out to restaurants with your friends to watch the game? Then we have the show for you. Dining Playbook, hosted by Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson. Go in the kitchen with Jermaine Wiggins and hear where Celtics forward Jeff Green hangs out. Dining Playbook tomorrow at 9. 2 down here in the first inning with Dustin Pedroia at first base and Mike Napoli the batter. Napoli just under 300 at 297. 5 homers and 16 runs batted in. Low throw, but it's dug out at first by Moss.
Only 2 players in the Red Sox lineup have faced Straley previous to today. And one is Napoli, the other Brzezinski.
Napoli will take it a little bit low for ball 1. We talk about all the great pitching that the Oakland A's have had over the last few years especially. And Must mention the great job that Kurt Young does, the former Red Sox pitching coach who has done such a fabulous job with the Oakland A's. There's Kurt, and a chance to visit with him briefly before the game today, and he has done a marvelous job with the Oakland A's. 1-0 is in there for strike one.
Slider this time inside to Napoli. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup from Straley. That was the slider. That's not exactly where he wanted it, to leave it inside.
That one grabs the outside corner, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that's more where he'd like to have it, on the outside part of the plate.
On first, and back to the bag is Pedroia. Led off this first inning with a leadoff walk, but since then Victorino struck out. Ortiz flied to left and been able to advance Pedroia at first base. There goes Dustin. The pitch is outside, and the throw is going to get away into center field. John Jaso with an errant throw, not even close, and Pedroia gets to third base. Stolen base and an E2.
Now the Red Sox trying to force the action a little bit, sending Pedroia to try to get him in scoring position, and they get the bonus. They get the throw into center field, and Dustin's able to move up to third base. Very good jump at first base, and then a very wild throw from John Jaso. Once Pedroia sees that ball is in center field, and certainly far enough now to where Chris can't get to it, he moves on to third base.
So now 90 feet away with two down here in the inning, and Mike Napoli swings at the 2-2 and hits a fly ball to left field, sending Cespedes back onto the edge of the track to make the catch that ends the inning. Red Sox leave Pedroia at third base. We'll tell you where to watch when we come back.
Seat and standing room tickets go on sale for June and July. RedSox.com/Green Monster. Our Scion TC poll question tonight, by the way, great name for a car. What's your favorite place to watch a game from here at Fenway? Sox 1 behind home plate, 2 bleachers, 3 here on the Monster Seats, 4 roof boxes. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. Text HELP. For more information, go to NESN.com to check out all the details. So watching it here up on the Green Monster, guys.
All right, TC, I kind of like behind home plate just because that's where we sit every night, Jerry. That's the view we kind of like.
Wait a minute. Who was that guy doing the hit?
That was Tom Caron.
Has Tom ever worked with us before?
I don't think so. No, I think it's the first. Actually, he has. He was the first, right?
Hey, guys, we were going to add another choice, sitting up behind home plate with lobster rolls and prime rib between games, but that wasn't an option.
He was out there taking selfies and all kinds of stuff, right?
He looks awfully familiar to me.
He does.
He really does.
Yeah.
I can't place it, but he looks awfully familiar to me.
We will figure it out before the end of the night, I promise. Brandon Moss, formerly of the Red Sox, had a big home run in Japan. The Red Sox open up the 2008 season. Here's the selfie. I mean,
look at this.
Rock star status that he has. And that's the way it used to be back in 2002, right? 2003. I remember. That's how I remember it.
They didn't have selfies back then.
Right. In the air to right field. Victorino on the broken bat fly ball moves over to make the catch for the first out of the second inning.
Yeah, guys, there were no hashtags. There was no Twitter last time I did this. In fact, these seats weren't even here the first year I did them. They were brand new my second year.
Hey, do you remember the time that I down at the Trop where I sent everybody down to your corner?
Yeah, I almost got arrested for that. Thanks very much, Jerry. The fans all started coming up. All the Red Sox fans came up to the section. Jerry said, if you got a friend of the game, call. And cell phones are fairly new back then, but a lot of fans managed to come up and spend a little time answering questions and sending questions up to Jerry.
I know his name will come to me. I can't remember his name.
Thanks.
I know his name will come to me.
TC.
TC.
Yeah,
that's
TC.
it.
There you go. My favorite part was sending him all over the buildings just because. We think of stuff in between. Hey, can we send Tom out to... Now one down here in the second inning. Yoenis Cespedes, left fielder for the A's, hitting at .258. 4 homers and 16 runs batted in. Cespedes with all kinds of power as we have seen in the past. And a swing and a miss, all geared up there, but can't get to the high fastball.
Yeah, once again, the velocity on the fastball tonight better for Clay Buchholz, 92, 93. First couple of starts, he was 89, 88. Arm strength maybe getting a little bit better for Clay.
Not happy with the delivery as he falls behind here at 2-1 to Cespedes. Cespedes went back-to-back games as a DH. He's back in left field again tonight. Missed 4 games with a tight left hamstring. As he swings and misses through strike 2, 2-2.
Another good cut fastball there from Clay Buchholz. Keeping the ball away from Cespedes. You see the rotation on the cutter.
Fouled off to the right. We'll do it again. 2-2. Want an easy way to pay for your Dunkin' Donuts? Download Dunkin's free mobile app. With the app, you can load a DD card and pay right from your phone. Receive exclusive mobile offers, enroll in an auto recharge, and instantly send DD gift cards. Message and data rates may apply. For full terms, visit www.dunkindonuts.com. Red Sox Nation runs on Dunkin'. Buchholz with a 2-2 pitch. They try to come in. And Cespedes fouls it back. He'll see a 7th pitch in this at bat. Towards the gap in left center field, but Jackie Bradley Jr. is headed back. It'll be over his head and one off the wall. He'll get it back in quickly, but Cespedes into second base. Get a little feel for his strength right there as he quickly lines it out to left center field. A one-out base hit, 2-base hit at that.
Yeah, and I think that fooled Jackie Bradley a little bit in the outfield. It was the cut fastball again. This time stays out over the plate, and Bradley went across, directly across, and then back. And by the time he adjusted, that ball was well over his head. Ball hit very hard by Cespedes.
So 1 out. Cespedes at second base, stretching out that hamstring situation. I mentioned he missed 4 games with a hamstring problem and then DH'd each of the last 2. There's Alberto Callaspo. I think at 269, 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. Came up with Kansas City, saw him with the Angels, and now a member of the Oakland A's. And of course, he was the final out of John Lester's no-hitter. As a member of the Kansas City Royals here at Fenway Park that night, he was a pinch hitter that night, and he was the final out of the Lester no-hitter. Callaspo to short left. Sizemore coming in to make the catch for the second out. Cespedes back to the bag at second, 2 down. There comes Josh Reddick, another former Red Sox player who has flourished with the Oakland A's. Had some wrist troubles last year, but has enjoyed his time with Oakland. Off to a 241 start this year. The home run, 9 runs batted in. That's 7th in their order now. Over his last 13 games, he's hit at .381. Two different stints on the DL last year, as I mentioned, with the sprained right wrist. There's a guy that had 32 home runs the year before with the Oakland A's, and the best season by far of his career. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Buchholz giving up a 1-out double to Cespedes, but you said it's got Callaspo to fly out to left. Cespedes still at second with 2 away here in the second inning. In there for strike 2. Well, tonight's twisted but true fact of the game is Josh Reddick hit .253 as a member of the Red Sox at Fenway Park in his career. As an A's, hit at .381 here at Fenway Park. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea is the refreshing hard iced tea. It tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Reddick lifts it in the air to left. Sizemore, in the twilight time here at Fenway, sees the ball just fine and makes the catch and ends the inning. Coming up for the Sox, Sizemore, Bogaerts, and Przinsky. Grady Sizemore, Xander Bogaerts, and AJ Pierzynski to face Dan Straley. Straley gave up a leadoff walk to Dustin Pedroia. Able to work his way around it. Pedroia would steal second. Got to third on the errant throw by John Jaso. And Straley get out of that first unscathed. Grady Sizemore has tailed off at the plate a tad. His average down to .213 as he starts tonight. 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. Sizemore has feasted on Oakland A's pitching over the years. A .322 hitter against the Oakland A's. Highest average against any American League opponent. There are the numbers in 45 career games against the A's. In the air to deep left center field. Cespedes turns around and looks up, and that is going to be off the wall. Cespedes to play the carry, but into second base goes Grady Sizemore. Leadoff double to begin the bottom of the second inning.
Well, they had been playing Sizemore to pull in the infield with the shift on, but straight away in the outfield. And now with this fastball, he takes it off that left field wall. Sizemore doing a nice job staying back on that fastball, and the easy double as it's placed up over the scoreboard area. And no problem for Sizemore to get in the scoring position at second base. So an opportunity for the Red Sox with a man in scoring position and nobody out.
These are the type of hits we were talking about the Red Sox have not been getting. You know, they got a runner in scoring position. We'll see what they can do tonight. Xander Bogaerts takes a pitch running inside for ball 1. Bogaerts 1 for 6 yesterday, 1 for 9 in the series against Tampa Bay. And a fly ball to shallow center. Chris got a late break, but he's coming in now to make the catch. Had to go a long way in. And Coco, of course, with a great speed, able to recover and come in to make the catch. Initially, he started back, but Bogaerts out number 1 of the inning.
Now, those are the little things there, Don. You know, when you're not scoring a lot of runs, you're not getting big hits with men in scoring position, you've got to move those runners along, and this is not going to get it done. The ball not deep enough to center field to advance Sizemore to third base. Long way to go for Coco Crispy. Makes the catch, but Sizemore remains at second now with 1 out.
Coco's one of those speedy center fielders that would rather come forward than have to go back. So a lot of times he plays deeply out there in center field, which is kind of different at times from other speedy center fielders. He comes in very strongly that time after getting kind of a bad jump out there in center. He's deep out there as well on AJ Pierzynski. On the ground and off the glove of Donaldson into left field. Coming around is Sizemore. He will score, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. Good bid by Donaldson at third base on the diving bid off the bat of AJ Pierzynski, but kicks off Donaldson's glove, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead.
Well, as I mentioned, Pierzynski is one of those guys that has faced Straley in the past, and he is now 4 for 8 against him with a home run. That ball a little bit toward the end of the bat, but gets by the dive of Donaldson. It kicks off his glove. It gets by the shortstop and into the outfield, so Sizemore can score.
We talk about the Red Sox having trouble with runners in scoring position. AJ Pierzynski is not. He is 5 for his last 8 with runners in scoring position. And he drives in the game's first run. Now Middlebrooks takes strike 1 right at the bottom of the zone. Well, hitting at .250 coming into tonight's game. 2 homers and 5 runs batted in. 1 for 5 in the doubleheader yesterday. Did walk 3 times. And gets out of the way of a pitch up and in. Last 8 games totaling a .320 average, along with 2 homers and 5 runs batted in. Middlebrooks tried to hold up, but goes around. 30 pitches on the night for Dan Straley with one out here in the second inning. Oakland A's defense had double play depth with A.J. Przinsky at first base and one down. Bouncing in and glancing off at Jaso. No chance for Przinsky to go anywhere. He remains at first base.
And consistently trying to keep that ball away from Will Middlebrooks. The slider again down in the dirt. Nice block there by John Jaso. And that keeps Przinsky at first base.
Swing and a miss. Off balance cut for Middlebrooks. Consistent sliders from Straley, and that's the second strikeout for Straley.
Well, it's like yesterday we saw Farnsworth come in, not Farnsworth, but Balfour come into the game and throw a lot of sliders in game 2 of that doubleheader, and a lot of sliders that time to Will Middlebrooks from Straley. I get the Balfour and Farnsworth. I really do. I get them. They're messing them up for years.
2 down here in the second inning. Jackie Bradley Jr. the batter. .226 average for Jackie coming into tonight's game. No homers and 12 runs batted in. 0 for 6 in the day-night doubleheader yesterday against Tampa Bay, and 2 for 10 in that series. Two and 0. Tampa Bay Rays, after leaving last night, went to New York where they open up a weekend series. This is line towards left center field. That's going to be a gapper. A.J. Przinsky is on his horse, headed for third and beyond. Brian Butterfield's going to send him. Here comes the play at the plate, and it will be offline. Przinsky's in. Bradley takes third, and the Red Sox take a 2-0 lead.
Now those are the big hits the Red Sox need. Jackie Bradley Jr. finding that gap in left center field and scoring Przinsky all the way from first base. Fastball down, nice piece of hitting there. Head right on the baseball for Bradley Jr. Here's the relay. It's going to be off target, not in time. Przinsky scores, and Bradley Jr. continues to third base. EJ, that piano getting a little bit heavy as he rounds third base, but is able to make it anyway.
Well, A.J. Przinsky coming all the way around. It's a double for Bradley Jr. Takes third on the throw. And the Red Sox take the 2-0 advantage here in the second inning. There's Pedroia. Waits on a 1-0. Little check swing dribbler right back at the mound. Straley will go to first for the out that ends the inning. Well, the Red Sox get 2 runs and take a 2-0 lead. Enjoying the Wally wave. well.
Yeah, I actually went home after the day-night doubleheader last night, and I practiced a little bit of it. I'm not ready yet for prime time, but I'm learning the Wally wave.
I had no idea you had that in mind, really.
Yeah. That was a good way to get. It was a good way to wind down after a long day yesterday here at the ballpark.
How long did this go on? 2, 3 in the morning?
No.
Okay. John Jaso leads it off and fouls it off to the left out of play.
You know, pitchers have all different kind of styles and ways to get ready for games. You know, some guys, as you know, Don, you see them before the game. Some guys will get here very late. Other guys, you don't even look at the day they pitch. Remember, Kurt Schilling, you wouldn't dare talk to him on a day that he was going to pitch. Clay Buchholz is one of the most relaxed guys I've seen on a day he pitches. He gets here early. He likes to play the guitar, listen to music. He's pretty much the same way every single start.
A 1-1 pitch to John Jaso. Buchholz has given up only 1 hit in the first 2 innings. A double for Yoenis Cespedes in the second inning.
And there's Clay prior to his start tonight. And that's early in the afternoon in the Red Sox clubhouse. And he likes to play the guitar, listen to all kind of music, a fan of all different types of music. That's how he gets ready for his starts.
And there for strike 2. I remember David Wells was very relaxed on the days of his starts as well.
But some guys come very late. Some guys come to the park about maybe 5 o'clock. All have different styles. John Lester fairly quiet on the day that he makes a start. Very businesslike.
In the air to center field. Jackie Bradley Jr.'s got to go a long way back towards the triangle, and he can't make the catch and bangs into the garage door. Still on the run is Jaso, and he's headed for third base without a problem. He'll get there standing. Bradley couldn't make the catch, and he bangs into that garage door hard as Jaso gets all the way to third base on the triple.
And Jackie Bradley Jr. lucky he's okay after this collision with that garage door out there. Had a long way to go at full speed. Jumps. Looks like a glove got a little bit of the baseball, and then the back right into the garage door.
So Jaso at third base with his first triple since 2012. Second hit for the Oakland A's. Both have been extra base hits, and Eric Sogard now the batter. Second baseman who totes a .217 average. Bradley almost made that catch.
He almost did, and that was a pretty good collision with that center field area out there. A little give to the garage door, which is a good thing.
Right now, his ticket is your Boston Bruins playoff tickets to Game 2 at the TD Garden against the Canadiens tomorrow. Visit aceticket.com or call 1-800-MySeats right now to get your tickets to watch the Bruins take on the Canadiens at the TD Garden. Don't miss out. Triple for Jaso to begin this inning. An 0-2 pitch coming to Sogard. And he got jammed. Little pop-up foul ground. Middlebrooks racing but can't get there. Just out of his reach. Fell too fast and out of his reach.
Yeah, just not hit high enough for Middlebrooks to get back there. He's going as quickly as he possibly can. Goes into a slide, hoping to make the catch, but can't quite catch up to it.
Sogard strikes out. Didn't like the call. He takes with him the second strikeout for Clay Buchholz.
That's the two-seam fastball from Buchholz. He starts it off the inside part of the plate, and it tails back to the corner. That's a pitch a left-hander will give up on. You turn around, and the catcher's mitt is right on the corner. Sogard didn't think so, but a good pitch by Buchholz.
One out, Jaso remains at third base, and Coco Crisp the batter. Lined out to second base, first time up, as Buchholz now goes second time through the Oakland A's order. And on the grass at third is Middlebrooks. He's been very good in this category, having a chance here with less than 2 outs. And John Jaso at third base. Mentioned Tampa Bay made the trip to New York after last night's day-night doubleheader. The Yankees now to a 2-1 advantage against the Rays tonight. They're in the third inning. Of course, the Yankees top the division to start action today in the American League East. Crisp on the 2-0, pops it up. Shallow left, in comes Sizemore. Very shallow left as he'll make the catch, and no chance for Jaso to try it. 2 down. Well, if you're a Red Sox fan and you're not following NESN on Twitter, you're missing out on the latest game updates, breaking news, and programming alerts. Follow NESN at twitter.com/NESN. And while you're at it, you can follow at Don Orsillo. Now, that is in the copy, Jerry. I didn't just throw that out myself. I want to make sure of that. I'll read this because this is going to make me look really bad.
It does.
Because I did not say this. This is in the copy. So you can confirm that, right?
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
At Don Orsillo. Could always use some more followers, but glad to read it, but I did not just throw that out there on my own.
Nah, I see the copy.
Good.
We don't know who wrote it, but
this one will get away from Pierzynski. Here comes Jaso, and he's going to get in without a problem.
Well, it looks like a curveball that time that Buchholz tried to snap off, and it gets under the glove of A.J. Pierzynski. It is the curveball from Buchholz. Tried to cover up the 5-hole with the glove, but deflects off the glove and gets through Pierzynski. And the kind of gift run right there for the Athletics.
It goes as a pass ball against A.J. Pierzynski. Now they've changed it to a wild pitch. This is in the air to left field off the bat of Lowry, but back there is Sizemore shy of the track to make the catch that ends the inning. We'll get you a view when we come back. It is 2-1. Red Sox on top. Champions Ice Cream your family loves, and the team you cheer for, all in one delicious scoop. Pick up Hood Champions today. 2-1, Red Sox have the lead over the Oakland A's as we head to the bottom of the third inning. The Oakland A's picking up a run in the top half of the inning on a wild pitch. Shane Victorino, David Ortiz, Mike Napoli to bat here in the third against Straley. This one kicks away, and it's 2-0. Shane had a tough at bat against Straley in the first inning. Struck out swinging, 0 for 1 so far in the night. Pitch up high, and it is 3-0.
Look at the infield shift on Victorino.
That's different.
That's a little bit different than what we see.
They're stacked up on the left side. And a 4-pitch walk this time for Shane Victorino down to first base. Well, Jerry, one of the things I got in my contract a couple of years ago on the last NESN contract that I did was to get an office here at Fenway Park. So the Red Sox are very nice to give me an office, and tonight's view is a view of my office. I share it with John Carter, of course, but this is my area. This is Orsillo headquarters inside Fenway Park. There's kind of a wall of me. There's Larry Lucchino off there to the left. And some pictures that I have in my office. Steven Tyler is in there as well. There's Kevin Costner, Donald Trump, Rene Russo. But a look inside my office. I thought we didn't have a chance to see that every night.
I'm absolutely stunned. I'm stunned.
You got nothing?
No, I'm stunned that you have an office here at Fenway Park.
I know. It was one of those things that we worked out early on in the negotiation process of the contract. I thought it was important.
No, at first I'm stunned you have a contract. Most of us are working day to day.
Well, I thought it was important. We spent a lot of time here. This is popped up left side. And the third baseman with the shift on, Donaldson makes the catch for the first out.
Now, if I'm looking at these pitches, I don't seem to see one of you and I.
You know, it's funny. You're right. You're not in any of the pictures. Now, a lot of them I had to get you out of. You are in that one with Steven Tyler. You're over his shoulder. See? That's you. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
You were there.
Yeah.
You're not with Larry.
Yeah.
You're not with my daughters there. You don't appear to be with the CEO and president of the Boston Red Sox.
No.
You're definitely not with Kevin.
No.
I think Eck was there, and now you're definitely not with Renee.
No, thanks. Okay.
So, yeah, no, you are not in any of these photos.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Nice to see your office. Why don't you get me a cup of coffee?
We have coffee. We do have coffee in the office. So
of course you do. It's an office.
We have coffee. There's water.
Do you have a secretary?
No. John Carter takes my calls, though. He handles all my calls because he is the desk part of the office. You saw him sitting there as we went in. And where it really came in handy was last year in the postseason to watch the games in my office. We had the entire NESN crew in there, in fact. Adam Pellerin was in there with us.
You let people in your office.
Jim Dodonna was in there as well. They were in our office to watch the playoffs and World Series here last year. So, yes, I host in my office as well.
Well, I must admit,
you should come in.
I must admit, no, that's okay. I'll stay out.
Rather not?
No, I'm not. I'm not in it now. I must not ever be in it. It's okay. I don't blame you.
A pitch for a strike to Napoli, and it is a ball and 2 strikes.
I find it hard to believe, I really do, that the person you work with day in and day out cannot be in a picture with you in your office. That's like, I don't quite understand that. I don't take it personally,
Okay.
Believe me, I don't. But it's really hard to believe.
You are in a lot at my home office, which is a much larger office. You're in like...
You didn't take a view of your home office.
3 or 4. I'm going to do that next. I will do that next time. And you're in at least 3 of those.
3 of how many?
There's a few. Napoli can hold up, I don't think. No. DJ Rayburn said he went around, and that's the 3rd K for Straley in the 2nd out of this inning.
Once again, the slider from Straley, and there is the swing right there by Napoli. Yes, he did go around that time. Didn't like the call, but appeared to be the correct one.
Hey, Jerry,
Yes,
TC down here. Just want to let you know, he was talking about bringing our whole production in during the postseason. Well, I hosted all the postseason games, and I never got invited into the office at all. So he might have had Adam Pellerin and Jim Dodonna and Mike Narachi, everybody else, interns, whoever else. I was never invited there. So.
Well, TC, you and I know where we stand.
Yeah. This postseason, Jerry, you and I will take pictures and go sit somewhere else and watch the game. How's that?
How about we just watch the game and no pictures?
I like it.
Now that was unfortunate. I had forgotten that we did not invite Tom Cairney. He's very right.
There's a couple of unfortunate things, Don, but that's okay. We'll get past it.
Mike Narachi also was not invited, Tom, if it makes you feel any better, as Sizemore with a swing and a miss. I'm trying to think. It was me, Adam Pellerin, Jim Dodonna was in there. We also had Jenny Dell was in there for the games. And I think that might have been it.
So why no Narachi? Why no TC?
Well, where Mike watched the games, we were kicked out of. This is to center field, and Crisp is back to make the catch on the edge of the track. 2-1, Boston on top at the end of 3. And tonight's Coors timeless moment is on this date in 1995. Mo Vaughn and John Valentin hit grand slams, accounting for all the runs in an 8-0 Red Sox win against the Yankees. Now we head into the 4th inning back at Fenway Park. Red Sox on top 2-1. And leading it off is Josh Donaldson against Clay Buchholz, and there is strike 1. Donaldson, a strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. One of 2 strikeouts tonight for Clay Buchholz. He's allowed 2 hits, a double for Yoenis Cespedes in the 2nd inning. And a triple to John Jaso in the 3rd inning led to a run scored on a wild pitch. Ball with 2 strikes to Josh Donaldson.
And change up that time from Buchholz to get the big swing and miss from Donaldson. A little bit higher than Buchholz would want it, but still no contact.
Mentioned the errors for Donaldson and made 6 miscues so far in the year. And his AL rank so far this season. As look at some of his numbers. This is a guy that was a catcher, converted to a third baseman in the spring of 2012. And has become one of the better third basemen in the league from an offensive standpoint as he strikes out this time for the second time tonight, first out of the 4th inning.
Yeah, second time that he's got Donaldson on the same pitch, a cut fastball, keeping it away. You see the rotation on the cut fastball. Foul tipped, it looked like into the glove of Brzezinski, who's able to hold on to it.
So one down here in the 4th, and Brandon Moss the batter. Moss with 21 RBIs. That's good for 6th in the American League in runs batted in so far in the year. Red Sox into a shift here. They bring Will Middlebrooks, the third baseman, to the right side of the infield with Pedroia now in short right field. Moss grounds it foul outside of first. Moss now, Cespedes next as the Oakland A's bat here in the top half of the 4th inning. After Moss left Boston in 2008, 3 years in Pittsburgh, half a season in Philadelphia, now his 3rd year with the Oakland A's. And an even 30 home runs last year for the Athletics, 87 runs batted in. Most home runs of his career, and 21 the year before. Grounded back towards the mound. Buchholz has got it. He'll flip underhanded for out number 2 of the inning. Sign up for Eastern Free Checking and receive a free house cleaning courtesy of MaidPro. Free checking and a dust-free home. Another neat idea from Eastern Bank. We're here, you're first. Details at easternbank.com/clean. 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. 5 in a row retired by Clay Buchholz. And here is Yoenis Cespedes, who doubled in the 2nd inning. Liner to the gap in left center field. Cespedes now in his 3rd year with the A's. 26 home runs last year, 80 runs batted in for the Athletics. On the ground, foul outside of 3rd. Well, Sox fans, enter the Red Sox World Series ring raffle for your chance to win incredible Red Sox World Series ring prizes. The grand prize is the 2004, 2007, and 2013 Red Sox World Series ring. To purchase raffle tickets and to learn more about these 2nd and 3rd place prizes, go to redsox.com/ring raffle. Fouled straight back, and it's 2-2. Heard Tom Werner talking about that before the game as part of Friday Night Fenway here. And Jerry, that is an amazing raffle. You think about it, the 3 World Series rings, part of a raffle.
Yeah, and the money goes to the Red Sox Foundation, which of course is spread out through a number of organizations throughout the city of Boston and all of New England, really. So it's for a great cause, and it's a great gift.
Cespedes fouls it back, and the count hangs at 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Buchholz has it going on. That's his 4th strikeout, a 1-2-3 inning. Bogaerts, Brzezinski, and Middlebrooks coming up. Two to 1, Red Sox on top as we head to the last half of the 4th inning. 6, 7, and 8 for the Red Sox in the inning. Bogaerts, Brzezinski, and Middlebrooks. Dan Straley back on the hill. Bogaerts getting his 2nd look at the Oakland A's starter tonight. He flied out to center field in the 2nd inning. Straley coming in with a record of 1-1. Win against Minnesota, loss against Seattle, and then 3 straight no decisions at LA, home against Texas, and at Houston last time out. Count evens at 2-2.
A 2-1 slider that time from Straley. Bogart's probably expecting a fastball on the 2-1 count, instead gets the breaking ball.
Eastern Bank knows small business keeps our economy and community strong. That's why they've been named the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts 5 years in a row. Eastern Bank, here you're first. Two is on the ground to third. A backhander by Donaldson. A long throw that is dug out on the other side by Moss. Nicely done by Brandon Moss on the backhand to Pickett. Bogaerts retired for the first out of the inning.
About as long as throw you're going to have to make down at third base. Donaldson going to the line and then all the way across the diamond. One short hops the glove of Brandon Moss. He makes the pick at first base, and they get the out on Bogaerts. Now maybe we'll have a little fun a little bit later. TC joining us tonight back in his spot as a sideline reporter. We'll try to get a location where TC is going to do a hit from the stands. And we'll try what we did down in Tampa Bay. We'll tell everybody at home where he's going to be, what inning he's going to be there. And they can text or call their friends at the ballpark and meet TC in that area and be on TV.
Here we go.
Why don't we do that? You want to try that?
We can do that. Let's do it.
We'll try it
I'll
again.
pick a location after this inning. We'll let you know, and you guys can set it up.
Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll let the people at home know to tell your friends at the ballpark you can just call them TC.
Now, as I recall this, and this was 12 years ago,
yes.
13 years ago,
yes,
there was nobody in that section at all, right?
No,
and
nobody.
You sent them all to that section. Now, looking at the crowd tonight, all the way around the ballpark, it's going to be very difficult to find a section where there aren't people already sitting. So how are you going to do this tonight?
Why don't you just worry about your office? And
I'm just confused.
TC and I will take care of getting people to his area.
Okay.
Okay? You worry about who pitcher you're going to have in your office next.
This is down the line in right field and foul off the bat of A.J. Pierzynski.
Actually, when we did it the last time, the people got in trouble because they went into an area where they're not supposed to be.
Right. And the security guards are going to throw TC out, as I recall.
Is that your secretary? Or
yes, that's John Carter.
That's your secretary.
He's also the executive producer of the Red Sox Report, the show that I host. And award-winning Red Sox Report that Jim Dodonna points out. Yes, award-winning. And, yes, he is also an executive assistant of mine. 2-2 pitches in the air to center field. Back goes Crisp. It'll take him to the dirt of the track for the second out. 2 down here in the 4th inning.
So stay tuned for section, location, and what the storyline may be. And you could be on TV tonight with Tom Caron. Maybe we could move half the ballpark. I wonder if that'd be possible.
I'm staying out. 5 in a row retired by Dan Straley. And here is Will Middlebrooks, who struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. 3 Ks tonight for Straley. He has walked 2 and only given up 3 hits. Another tight one tonight from Fenway after back-to-back 1-run games yesterday. Talking about run support, Straley last year had 2 runs or fewer in 17 of 27 starts a year ago, and the starts that he made last year, and again tonight, first appearance, first start ever for him against Boston. These are 12-4 on the road so far this season for Bob Melvin. Brooks takes ball 3. Wraps it foul. And it's picked by Butterfield. Nice play by Brian Butterfield.
Nice play down there, Butter. Butter got hot the other day on that play at home plate. Was it yesterday? But he cooled off today and makes a very nice barehanded play here.
Oh,
showing some range.
Out to center field. Coco Crisp has it sized up. He's on the track as well, and that will end the inning. It's 2-1 Red Sox at the end of 4. We will check out the list when we come back. Cup packs will keep you running and guarantees to satisfy any fan base. Order by 11:30 a.m. and get free same-day deliveries. Who but WB Mason? 2-1 Red Sox on top of the Oakland A's as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. And as promised, we check out the list tonight. Top all-time Oakland A's. Hashtag Nesson list with your thoughts. Jose Canseco, Dennis Eckersley, Ricky Henderson, and Reggie Jackson. A lot to choose from the Oakland A's over the years, no doubt. There is Eck tonight in the Legends Suite at Fenway Park. Alberto Callaspo leads it off in the 5th inning and takes strike one. Callaspo flied out to left field in the 2nd inning. Of course, the A's retired numbers are up on the tarp areas in the upper deck at O.Co Coliseum in Oakland.
Now, for me, of those 4 names, I'd have to say Dennis Eckersley and Ricky Henderson.
Is there anybody you think is omitted from that list?
Mark McGwire, maybe?
Mac, of course, from fairly close to Oakland in Fremont, California. One-two pitch in the dirt, and it evens at 2-2.
Yeah, you start to think back of some of those teams in the 70s too. Guys like Joe Rudy and Raleigh Fingers and Catfish Hunter, Sal Bando, Reggie Jackson, a lot of big names.
2-2 slowly hit. Buchholz has a kick off him, and reaching at first base is Callaspo. Clay could not field it cleanly. That had a lot of English on it, and see if Clay is slow to get up here as he kind of twisted as he went down to make that play.
Little tap back to the mound, and Buchholz goes down to one knee. Hard to tell exactly what he may have hurt, if anything, on this little tap it back to the mound. Might have turned an ankle a little bit, maybe.
They charge Buchholz with an error on the play. So Callaspo reaching on the error to begin this 5th inning. Josh Reddick, the batter. Over to first, and Callaspo back to the bag. In the air to center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. a little bit to his right, a few steps, and makes the catch for the first out of the 5th inning. So Reddick quickly retired as Buchholz tried to work his way around an error that he committed to begin this inning. And I'll bring up John Jaso. Jaso with a triple in the 3rd inning, and then scored the Oakland A's only run on a wild pitch in the 3rd. Jaso, of course, formerly of the Tampa Bay Rays. Red Sox saw plenty of him when he was one of the Rays catchers. Stop in Seattle between his time in Tampa Bay and Oakland. This is year number 2 for Jaso with the Oakland A's.
Callaspo does not have a steal yet on the season.
Framed by Brzezinski, but it is outside, and it's 1-1 to Jaso.
The Athletics as a team don't run all that much. They're 7th in the league in stolen bases at this stage.
In there for strike 2, 1-2.
Another good changeup from Buckles. He's had a pretty good one in this ball game tonight. This is kind of the way that he finished off that game against Toronto last time out.
In the dirt gathered by Pierzynski, 2-2. On deck for the A's, batting out of the number 9 spot, Eric Sogard. He's batting here in the top of the 5th with 1 out and 1 on. On the ground, left side, Middlebrooks off the glove, and everybody's going to be safe. He was ranging to the third base side with a bit of a shift on and has it go off the glove, and Jaso reaches at first base.
Yeah, I think the only option that Middlebrooks would have had he been able to make this play, you see how far off the third base bag he is, would have been a forced play at second. I doubt if he goes to first base he gets an out. And as far as he had to travel, and the ball clanks off the heel of the glove.
Well, base hit for John Jaso, first and second, 1 out. Eric Sogard, the batter. Now they've changed it. They get E5 on the board. So they have charged him with an error now. To right field, down the line towards the pole, and foul. Sogard gives it a ride, but to the right of the pole. Well, have you had the chance to see our new Sunday pregame show, Nesson Clubhouse? It's where kids run the show, and we're looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience. Visit Nesson.com/clubhouse sweepstakes to enter your son or daughter's team right now. Gallaspo at second base, Jaso at first base, 1 out, and an 0-1 pitch to Eric Sogard. Outside for ball 1. Swinging a foul tip for strike 2.
There's that changeup again from Buckholz. That time in perfect location, down, almost out of the strike zone. Last time he got Sogard was with a two-seam fastball that he threw inside to him. Let's see what his approach is now with the 1-2 count.
To center field, Bradley started back, now he's going to come in and recovers to make the catch for the second out. He was fooled initially on the swing, went back, but comes in, has plenty of time to recover to get Sogard, and there are 2 outs in the inning.
That's good pitching by Buckholz right there. Last time, he has him thinking Sogard about a pitch that was running at him and then ran back on the corner. This time he does the opposite.
He comes with a cut fastball that's barreling in on him and gets him to pop it up to short center field.
First and second, 2 down, and Coco Crisp coming up here for the A's. Coco lined out to second base in the first inning, fly to left in the third. Coco's career average against Boston pitching .202, former member of the Red Sox. It's actually his lowest mark against any American League team. Well, just .202 against Boston pitching as he waits on a 1-0 pitch. And takes it a little bit low for ball 2. The A's have one of their better players in this situation up right now. That's a strike, kind of leaning in that direction, and grabs the outside corner.
Back to the cut fastball and back to the outside corner with it. So everything has been around the strike zone, but Chris still in command with a 2-1 count.
Carrasco at second base, Jaso at first, 2 down in the inning. Crisp chops it right side. Napoli's going to need help. Buchholz is over there to cover for the out. Now the A's stranded pair coming up for the Red Sox. It'll be Bradley, Pedroia, Victorino. Second inning is A.J. Pierzynski coming up with Grady Sizemore at second base, and off the glove with Josh Donaldson into left center. Who would score? Grady Sizemore. And the Red Sox on the board. They'd score again as Jackie Bradley Jr. shoots the gap in left center field, a double. And A.J. Brzezinski comes all the way around from first base to score the Red Sox second run. A's would get a run in their half of the third inning. Now Boston back to work here in the bottom of the fifth. Jackie Bradley Jr. getting his second at bat tonight against Dan Straley. Bradley's RBI on that double was his 13th RBI of the year. Straley falling behind 3-0 to begin the inning. That's in there for a strike. 3-1. Bradley will take ball four and a leadoff walk. Second time in the game the Red Sox, check that, third time in the game the Red Sox have had a leadoff walk and not been able to score that run. Well, one of the quiet ways the Red Sox Foundation contributes to Boston is by supporting the Dimmick Center, which provides innovative, comprehensive, holistic health to thousands of families. We thank H.B. Hood, who helps make the Dimmick Center a beneficiary of the Red Sox Foundation. Leadoff walk here for Jackie Bradley Jr. Dustin Pedroia batting for the third time. As first they check on Bradley. Yeah, third time the Red Sox have gotten a leadoff walk. The first two times, Pedroia in the first inning was left at third base, and then Victorino in the third never advanced from first base after he walked to begin the third inning. It's a tough way to live, though, if you're starting pitcher. Leadoff walks.
And again, something the Red Sox could be taking advantage of at this stage of the game. At any stage of the game.
Two balls, no strikes here to Pedroia. Red Sox been pretty patient with him here in this fifth inning, and now Kurt Young not liking what he's seeing. The pitching coach coming out for the A's. Straley walks Bradley Jr., falls behind Pedroia 2-0. Well, for every Red Sox hit this month, Echo Store Technologies will donate $50 to the Greg Hill Foundation. Echo Store and the Greg Hill Foundation respond immediately to improve the lives of local families touched by tragedy. To learn more, log on to echostore.com. Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider. Lead runner on for the Red Sox here in the fifth inning.
No fastball for Pedroia on that 2-0 count. Gets the slider to pick up the first strike in this at bat. Bradley with 3 steals on the season has not been caught. Good count to go on if you're gonna go.
Outside, 3-1. Fernando Abad up in the pen now for the A's. Rolled over foul by Pedroia. Full count now. Pedroia now, Victorino next as the Red Sox bat here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Back to the bag at first is Jackie Bradley Jr. Abad has been joined by Dan Otero in the pen. So I got a right-hander and a left-hander up now for the A's. Straley running into a little trouble here to begin the fifth. But he's battled back against Pedroia. 3-2 the count. Bradley's off at first as Pedroia to left field. Cespedes not going to get this, and one hops the wall. And Bradley will be stopped at third base. Into second base with a double goes Dustin Pedroia. Second and third with nobody out.
Oh, with Bradley off at first base, he never has to hesitate. The play is in front of him. It's a slider that time that's kind of flat. And Pedroia, he flattens it out with a line drive. Line drive to left field that quickly gets by Cespedes. He holds onto the baseball for a while. Bradley Jr. made a bluff for home, but then returned to the third base bag. So the Red Sox with a great opportunity here. Second and third, nobody out.
Look at Straley's pitching line to date here. 4+, 2 runs so far. This is pitch 80 of his outing. And a chance for Victorino to do some damage as he takes the pitch inside. Shane struck out swinging in the first inning. He walked in the third. Two and 0. In the air to short right field. Reddick coming in as Bradley gets ready at third. Reddick makes the catch. Bradley is going to not go, but draws the throw. And it's a good one from Reddick in right field. That's the first out of the inning.
Again, the frustration sets in here as you have two men in scoring position and the fly ball not deep enough. There's Reddick, this position. Bradley Jr. just drawing the throw from Reddick, and it's a good one.
Here comes Bob Melvin as he comes out here with one out in the fifth inning, and he'll make the change. With Ortiz coming up, he wants the left-hander. And that is it for Dan Straley. Leaves this game with the Red Sox on top 2-1. The pitching change from Fenway Park. clubhouse where kids run the show. What happens to a baseball when it gets wet? What is it like to clean the park in between a doubleheader? What tip does Jackie Bradley Jr. have for playing the outfield? Don't miss Nesson Clubhouse live and commercial-free Sunday at noon. Well, a 2-1 Red Sox lead. We had one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's called to the bullpen, brought to you by New England Ford Dealers. And Fernando Abad into the game. He has been terrific for Oakland. He's not allowed to run over his first 11 outings and 11 innings. 12 strikeouts to 2 walks. And how about the opponent batting average so far against Abad? 0.57.
And Bob Melvin realizing what an important part of the game this is right now. So he goes right to Abad to face David Ortiz.
He was acquired from Washington in November this past offseason, and he is ready here to work to David Ortiz with Pedroia at second base and Jackie Bradley Jr. at third. One out in the inning. David 0 for 2. He is flied out to left and popped out to third base. In the dirt for ball 1. John Jaso doing the catching tonight for the A's. Abad from La Romana, the Dominican Republic. David at .289 against lefties. Dan Straley, the starter for the A's, departs, responsible for Bradley Jr. at third. Pedroia at second base. And so far touched for 2 runs as Ortiz looks at ball 2.
Now back-to-back sliders from Abad. It's that off for Ortiz.
Fastball, and it's in there for a strike. 2-1.
Pretty good velocity, too, at 94 miles an hour. It's a big poppy. So 2 sliders and a fastball to run the count to 2-1.
Tease chops it foul. And it's 2-2. Then he began with a leadoff walk for Jackie Bradley Jr. Dustin Pedroia the double to left, second and third when Shane Victorino flied out to right field. Now David Ortiz with a count of 2-2. Fouled off to the left. Red Sox already 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position in this game. It's a stat that has bothered John Farrell and the Red Sox this season. Away for ball 3, full count.
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him go back to the slider on the 3-2 count. Tried the fastball away that time.
Ortiz strikes out. Goes to the breaking ball over the outside corner to pick up the strikeout of Big Poppy. 2 down.
Now he does go back to the slider. You know, Ortiz probably figuring 3 balls, 1 strike. He throws him a fastball. He's probably going to get another one on a 3-2 count. No, he gets the slider. So 2 men still standing at second and third.
Mika Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. Two outs here in the fifth, second and third, and Mike Napoli is going to be put on intentionally here with first base open and Grady Sizemore waiting on deck. So Napoli down to first base with the intentional walk. Bases loaded now, 2 down. Grady Sizemore's first at bat coming up here against Abad. Bases filled with Red Sox here in the bottom of the fifth inning. A chance to add to their 1-run advantage. Sizemore has doubled, scored a run, and flied out to the warning track in center field. And a swing and a miss. Couldn't catch up to the fastball that time.
Well, he put Ortiz away with a slider. Starts Sizemore off with a fastball at 92 and throws it by him.
Grady Sizemore, 3 grand slams in his career. Always been pretty good in this spot. 333. Bradley at third, Pedroia at second, Napoli at first. Almost hit him. At the very least, almost grazing that jersey. 2-1.
And almost got away from John Jaso, the catcher. A nice play by Jaso. Has to reach across his body, gets it in the webbing of the glove.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
There's that breaking ball again, which has been devastating against left-handers. This time more of a curveball.
Full count now, and everybody will be moving. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-2 to Grady Sizemore.
Well, if he dropped the breaking ball on Ortiz on a 3-2 count, he may do the same here to Sizemore.
Sizemore strikes out on the fastball to end the inning. Red Sox hold a 2-1 lead through 5. A big opportunity goes by the boards. And photo for a chance to be shown in our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Tonight's photo is from Mark Johnson high atop the Green Monster before a Sox game. Well, 2-1. Red Sox have the lead, but it could be more. Lots of opportunities the Red Sox have had as we take a look at Clay Buchholz's line. Brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 4 Ks. He has been very good in this game. As Jed Lowry leads it off here for the Oakland A's. It's 2, 3, and 4. Lowry, Donaldson, and Moss featured here in the 6th inning. So the Red Sox have now left 6 men on base as this one fouled off to the left.
Well, Don, TC's going to have a hit coming up, and I'm going to tell the fans now at home where he's going to be so they can text or call their friends at the ballpark and join him and be on TV. He's going to be up under the big Budweiser sign up in that picnic area in right field. So text your friends at the ballpark if they want to be on TV. Go see TC up there under the Budweiser sign.
Inside for ball 2, 2-1.
There we go. Just somewhere up in that area right there. So tell all your friends to get up there and you'll be on Nesson.
Foul tipped off the mid of Pierzynski, and it's 2-2. Jed Lowry, of course, last in Boston in 2011. Spent 2012 in Houston. Now his 2nd season with the Oakland A's. Jumps back out of the way of a pitch inside. Jed with 15 home runs last year, 75 runs batted in, and finished up the year hitting at .290 for the A's. 154 games for Oakland last year. By far the most he's played. Lined and caught at first base. Nicely done by Mike Napoli. Reels it in for the first out of the 6th inning.
Now, I don't know if Napoli gets the signs from Pedroia. Sometimes first basemen do. But on a breaking ball like that, they'll be leaning in that direction. Here's Napoli. A very quick step to his left and catches that line drive. Gets down in that catcher's crouch. That's how he starts all the time. And then back up, leaning to his left, and takes extra bases away from Lowry.
Very frustrating for Jed Lowry. Hit it hard, but he is the first out of the inning.
He played with a lot of first basemen who wanted to know what the pitch was coming so they could adjust one way, left or right, whether it be fastball or breaking ball.
Buchholz upset as he falls down here 2-0.
And the very simple way to do that is if it's going to be a breaking ball, you would just yell out from second base, Nap, just to let him know something off speed's coming.
Line foul into the seats. Look out. Get in there in a hurry. Wow, 39 years ago today, Eck recorded his first major league win. A lot of fans had tweeted in Vita Blue as a possibility on that list.
Oh, don't bring back bad memories.
He was left off the list tonight.
Yeah, he'd be on my list.
Dave Stewart, another one.
Yeah, another good. A lot of big names for the Athletics.
Blowing away, and that's ball 4. There's the first walk of the night, surrendered by Clay Buchholz. Comes with 1 out here in the 6th inning. So 1 out, 1 on, and Brandon Moss coming up.
Look at the fans rushing out to that area, Don. Just starting to pile up out there for TC.
Now, where is TC?
He's up somewhere in that section, right under the Budweiser sign. Do you listen to what I say?
Yeah, well, I know you said he was out there, but I mean, it's kind of a vague area.
Well, I mean, just look for the Budweiser sign, and he's somewhere out there, and you'll find him.
And a swing and a miss for Brandon Moss.
Cut fastball again from Buchholz. I do that a lot to you.
Throw cut fastballs?
No, you'll say something, and I'll say the exact same thing you just said because I'm not listening.
Did I do that?
Huh?
Did I do that?
No, I do it a lot to you.
Oh.
It's like you're thinking on the same page. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 90th pitch coming up here for Clay Buchholz of his outing. There's been no action behind him yet in the pen. And it's rolled over foul, 0-2. Moss frustrated. 75 years ago, where Gehrig's streak, 2,130 consecutive games played, ended, and of course, broken by Cal Ripken Jr. To me, the record by Cal will never be broken.
And I was thinking about that the other night when we were all battling food poisoning.
Yes.
How in the world could you play those many games without even getting sick enough not to be able to play? Never mind stitches, some type of injury, just a normal illness.
I read Cal's book, one of the books that Cal's written. He's written a lot, but the one he said the closest he came was what he thought was a broken ankle. The very next day, thought there was absolutely no way he was going to be able to play, but still did. Taped it enough to get it done. But the closest he came. 1-2 pitches in there for strike 3. 5th strikeout for Buchholz. Brandon Moss down by way of the K. 2 down.
Now, once again, that two-seam fastball from Buchholz, very effective against those left-handed hitters. You see the rotation on the two-seamer coming back toward the inside corner. And Buchholz picks up the strikeout. So two outs now in the inning with a man at first base.
Yoenis Cespedes has doubled and struck out. 1 for 2 in the game. He is one of the 5 Ks tonight for Clay Buchholz. Jumping back out of the way of a pitch inside. Those pitches Buchholz has thrown in any outing this season, 109. Did that at Chicago back on the 16th of April. This one will get to the backstop as Donaldson takes second base.
A big play in a one-run ball game right here. The cut fastball gets away from Brzezinski, and Donaldson in a scoring position, the potential tying run. There's the cut fastball going to the backhand side of Brzezinski underneath the glove. And Donaldson gets into second base.
So wild pitch for Buchholz. Donaldson into scoring position, representing the tying run. And now they're going to put Cespedes on with first base open. Opting to deal with Alberto Castro instead. So down to first base goes Cespedes. Cayaspo coming up. I want to remind you to come to Foxwoods Resort Casino Saturday, May 3rd to watch the Mayweather versus Maidana fight live from Las Vegas on a high-def big screen. For tickets, visit foxwoods.com. Foxwoods is the official sponsor of the Boston Red Sox.
I think Madonna in her day could have taken Mayweather.
First and second, 2 down. Alberto Cayaspo. Low for 2. He's flying to left and reached on an error. Breaking ball missing high for ball 1. A lot of stirring going on in the Red Sox pen. A lot of stretching going on out there, but so far nobody warming. Cayaspo takes the strike, 1-1.
Again, the Buckles keeping the cut fastball away that time. A lot of cutters this inning for Buckles.
In the air to left field. Sizemore moving back will get there to make the catch that ends the inning. So Buchholz walks 2 in the inning, 1 intentionally. It's still 2-1 Red Sox. We'll find TC when we come back.
I want to.
We're up here on the right field roof. A few of Don and Jerry's closest friends, a couple hundred of them showing up here in the last half. And you guys having fun tonight? Tell you what, a little spring-like weather has people fired up. Are you guys having a good time? Yeah! Right, they're having fun up here on the right field roof. Everybody's making it up. It's a mellow night up here. It's a warm night. And in a minute now, we're going to take the biggest selfie Fenway has ever seen, put it up on NESN.com. Don, Jerry, back to you.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. Outstanding. Now they're going to do the selfie.
All right. I knew we'd get some people up there to find TC.
They found him. Well, it's on to the bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox trying to add on to a 1-run advantage as Xander Bogaerts leads it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now Oakland on to their 3rd pitcher of the night. Dan Otero into the game, 12th appearance, 3-0. 1.42 earned run average, 9 Ks to 4 walks. And the strike to Bogaerts evens a count of 1-1. So Abad did his job. He came in and got 2 outs, both by way of the K. In relief of Dan Straley, charged with the 2 runs the Red Sox have in the game tonight. Bogaerts lines it into center field for a base hit. Good start to the bottom of the 6th inning. This Toyota Game Break is brought to you by buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals. Let's get that Toyota Game Break with Adam Pellerin. All right, thanks very much, Adam. Back here at Fenway Park, Red Sox have the lead runner on again. And this is lined into left field. A.J. Pierzynski has had a good night. His second hit of the night. Bogaerts takes second, and it is first and second with nobody out.
Now the Red Sox playing hit and run on the first pitch with Pierzynski. The runner was off at first base, but the ball hit hard to left field, so the runner has to hold up. Bogaerts at second base. There he goes. They love to play hit and run with Pierzynski, especially on that first pitch, because he likes the first pitch. Anywhere else but right at the left field, that'd have been a first and third situation.
So 2 on, nobody out. And Will Middlebrooks, the batter. Will has struck out and flied out to center field, 0 for 2. And he takes strike one. So Dan Otero coming in here. Allowed a run on Sunday afternoon, snapping a 10 2/3 inning scoreless streak that he had, which spanned over 9 appearances. Also gave up his first career home run on Sunday as well. Third pitcher used by Bob Melvin in this game for the A's. Low for ball 1, 1-1. Singles to Bogaerts and Pierzynski to open up the bottom of the 6th inning. Fights it off foul and is down 1-2. I want to remind you to bring the family out to the ballpark for one of our Sox Savers games this season. Select May dates provide the lowest prices of the season. The tickets starting at just $10. Get your Sox Saver game tickets. Visit www.redsox.com/tickets. Well, since the beginning of 2013, Otero's had a 1.39 earned run average, tied for the 3rd lowest among major league relievers, minimum of 50 innings pitched. And he comes into this game in the 6th inning to start the inning and gives up back-to-back base hits. Brooks almost got hit. 2-2. Bottom of the order, Jackie Bradley Jr. waiting on deck. Swing and a miss, and Middlebrooks strikes out. Otero needed that, and it is the first out of the 6th inning.
And second time Middlebrooks has struck out tonight, once on a slider, this time on a fastball up and in. Looks like by design, because Otero's a sinker ball pitcher, keeps the ball down most of the time. That time he goes up and in with it and gets the strikeout on Middlebrooks.
One down in the inning for Jackie Bradley Jr. has been on twice. He doubled in the 2nd inning, walked in the 5th. Bluff off the backside, no throw as Bogaerts gets back to the bag at second. Ryan Cook up in the bullpen. We've already seen Abad and Otero out of that pen. The starter tonight, Dan Straley, goes 4 1/3 innings on the hook as he gave up 2 runs. Bradley ahead 2-0. Now John Jaso headed out to talk to Otero. Well, time now for the Leahy Health System injury report. And the A's starting pitchers, A.J. Griffin, Tommy John surgery. 2013 had 14 wins. Jared Parker had Tommy John surgery. He was 12-8 with a 3.97. And Eric O'Flaherty, Tommy John surgery. Last year with Atlanta, 3-0 with a 2.50 earned run average. It is sort of an epidemic going across Major League Baseball this year.
That's amazing. All those guys off one team.
3-0 the count. Bradley's already walked once in this game. And he's going to walk again. This will load the bases with one out here in the 6th inning. As the 5th walk given up tonight by Oakland pitching.
Once again, another great opportunity for the Red Sox. They've had a few of them in this game tonight to kind of bust this game open and make it a little bit more easy sailing as you head to the end of the ball game.
Kurt Young on the phone to the pen. Otero wants a new baseball, and now he's going to be probably not in need of a new baseball. Here comes Bob Melvin. Well, on Sunday's all-new Ultimate Red Sox show presented by AAA, a look back on a wild week for the Sox. Tom Caron's in-depth discussion with John Farrell and your chance to win all 3 Red Sox World Series rings. Catch all that and more on the Ultimate Red Sox show Sunday at 6 p.m. Melvin will make the change here. And Oakland moving on to another pitcher as Dan Otero's got himself into a jam. So Ryan Cook will make his way in here for the Oakland A's. Boston on top 2-1. The pitching change from Fenway. Original HB toner cartridge dual packs offer additional savings and are guaranteed to work the first time, every time. Order from WB Mason by 11:30 a.m. and get free same-day delivery. Nobody beats WB on HB. Well, Tom Caron was up there in right field, promised a selfie, and there it is. There's the actual picture.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You got to switch your phone around, don't you? To have to take a selfie or something.
Yeah, you got to hit the button up top. Yeah, button, flips around. And here is Ryan Cook into his 10th game of the year, 0.96 earned run average. Opponent sitting at 0.65 against Cook. As Bob Melvin deep into this bullpen here in the 6th inning already. Third reliever is used, 4th pitcher of the game. And it's a bases loaded 1-out situation for Ryan Cook. There is strike 1 to Dustin Pedroia. Dustin walked in the 1st inning, grounded out in the 2nd, then doubled in the 5th. He's thrown 6 straight scoreless innings. It's Pedroia down on the count, 0-2. Xander Bogaerts at third base, A.J. Przinsky at second, Jackie Bradley at first. Some right shoulder tendonitis had Ryan Cook on the DL to begin the year. A couple of rehab assignments, 2 to be exact. Single A Stockton, reinstated on April 7th, and has pitched 8 times since then. And Pedroia hits one high and deep to left field. Cespedes going back at the wall. La Luna, grand slam style. Dustin Pedroia can smile his way around the bases. He just hit a grand slam and put the Red Sox on top 6-1.
Well, that is the big hit the Red Sox have been looking for. It has been few and far between. And Pedroia picks up his first home run of the season. A breaking ball that stays inside, right on the sweet spot of the bat. And Pedroia finds the top of that left field wall.
Well, a challenge is going to take place as well. Bob Melvin is coming out. He wants to challenge this. The umpires will get together. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, headed over to get the headset on here. And they're challenging the home run. It was up on the shelf. I don't think there's much doubt here, but they are going to challenge.
I agree with you, Don. I think it was on the shelf, and I think there's no question it's going to be a home run. Did a fan reach over and make contact with that baseball? I don't think so. I just think it hit the top of the shelf.
I think the fan that was reaching was not near where the ball landed.
Yeah, I don't think there was any contact there with the fan. I don't think that's going to be overturned.
Now bounces clearly on the shelf with no hand. It is indeed a grand slam for Dustin Pedroia. Challenge lost there for the Oakland A's, and the Red Sox enjoy a 6-1 lead.
I think if that had been overruled, I think every member of the Red Sox probably would have charged the field in a challenge system.
Now Shane Victorino now standing in, bases cleared thanks to the grand slam by Pedroia. And that'll miss for ball 1. So 3 of the 4 runs are charged to Dan Otero, who went a third of an inning. Ball and a strike now to Victorino. Shane has struck out, walked, and flied to right. A 100th home run for Dustin Pedroia of his career. As Victorino offers at that pitch, 1-2. Now over 500 RBIs as well in his career. Victorino chases that pitch down and away, a nasty slider, and Victorino strikes out, 2 down in the inning.
That was nasty. Cook going to the breaking ball and starting it at about the middle of the plate and ends up way off the outside edge.
The 2 down, bases empty for David Ortiz. Oakland A's infield into the shift on the right side for Big Papi. 0 for 3 in the game. He has flied out, popped out, and struck out.
Kind of like how this inning's gone for the Red Sox. They started off playing small ball, little hit and run, and finish it with the long ball.
Drew Pomerantz up in the pen for the A's. Ortiz with a big wild swing and a miss. 1-2. Fastball that time from Cook. In the air to center field. Coco Crisp going back at the wall, and it's off the wall. The ricochet played by Reddick. His throw will go somewhere near second, and he'll be backed up by Donaldson. It's a wall ball double to center for David Ortiz.
Oh, that ball hit a long way by Ortiz. Not missing a home run by very much out there in very deep center field. He gets a fastball, and he gets a lot of this. It looked like a home run when it left the bat, but just falls short as it hits that center field wall above the leap of Coco Crisp.
Now Mike Napoli, who has flied out, struck out, and last time up was intentionally walked by the Oakland A's. And Mike Napoli, they referred surf and turf. Journey, his favorite band. Wants to see Italy.
You've seen that a couple of times, though.
Yes, Rome. 2-0 pitch low and away, and it's 3-0 now to Napoli.
How many times have you been in Italy?
Twice.
Twice.
You?
Never.
Never been.
No.
There's a strike to Napoli, and it's 3-1. Ryan Cook, who had been not scored upon here. Grand slam. 3 of the runs of the 4 inherited runners, and those are charged to Dan Otero. Charged with 3 runs and a third of an inning. Now Napoli looks at strike 2, full count. Cook trying to find his bearings here in the inning. Here's ball 4, and he loses him. So Napoli down to first base, 2 on. So far, 4 runs in. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings where the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards their $25,000 donation once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. And Bob Melvin will make another pitching change. As he does, let's check in for a NESN Sports Today update. Grand slam for Dustin Pedroia. His 100th home run of his career, his first of 2014, and gives the Red Sox a 6-1 advantage as they continue to bat here toward the bottom of the 6th inning. Grand slam off Ryan Cook as we get the Xfinity game summary. Straley, the pitcher of record on the losing side right now for the Oakland A's, with the first 4 and a third innings. Meanwhile, Clay Buchholz has gone the first 6 innings of this game, thrown 99 pitches, and Buchholz been pretty good here tonight, holding this Oakland A's team to just 1 run. New pitcher on for the Athletics, the 5th of the night, Drew Pomerantz, into his 9th game of the year. 1-1 with a 1.59 earned run average, 9 strikeouts to 5 walks, and opponent sitting at 195 against Pomerantz. Comes in with runners at first and second and 2 down, and Grady Sizemore coming up. Ortiz at second, Napoli at first. Sizemore doubled back in the 2nd inning and scored. Since then, he has flied out to center and struck out swinging. Strike over the inside corner. Ryan Cook responsible for the men on as he departs here in the 6th inning. Tardy on that 92-mile-an-hour fastball with Sizemore, down 0-2. Ortiz and Napoli take up the bases right now for Boston. In the air down the left field line on the run is Donaldson, but he won't have a play. Leader 10 rows back and into the seats. Pomerantz has allowed 2 runs in 11 and a third innings this year, both solo home runs. 1 career appearance against Boston. In September of last year, he went an inning striking out 2. He came over from Colorado for Brett Anderson and Cash in December of this past offseason. 1-2 pitch. That's outside. 2-2 now to Grady Sizemore. Andrew Miller now up in the pen for Boston. The Sox have scored 4 times in this inning and have taken a 6-1 advantage. Sizemore fouls it off and stays alive. He's still looking on here from the Red Sox dugout. 99 pitches deep in 6 innings.
And he's been sitting there a long time, too.
Gonna bounce around a little bit. Look out, and Sizemore somehow eluded that pitch on the breaking ball. Full count.
Curveball that didn't curve. Almost curved into the stomach of Sizemore.
Sizemore fouls it off to the left. And we'll do it again. Runners back to their respective bases. Ortiz to second, Napoli to first. One more note on Dustin Pedroia with his 100th home run. He joins Carl Yastrzemski, one of the Red Sox players to have 100 home runs and 100 stolen bases. So Yaz and Pedroia. In the air, down the left field line, and that'll make its way foul. Well, tomorrow morning at 11:30, NESN will have an hour pregame show prior to Game 2 of the Bruins-Canadiens series. And immediately after the game, NESN Plus will have comprehensive coverage of the press conference and locker rooms, as well as analysis from Brick and Barry. Game 2 tomorrow, and the Bruins looking for better results than Game 1. 3-2 pitch. In the air, left field. Cespedes making his way over. He's got a play, and he makes it to end the inning. Red Sox send a total of 9 to the plate, score 4 times on the slam by Dustin Pedroia.
Knows baseball can be a grind. You don't often see ball players going to watch a game as a fan on an off day. Josh Reddick, who spent parts of 3 seasons here with the Red Sox, did just that yesterday. An off day for the Oakland A's. He came to watch the day game of the day-night doubleheader. He said the highlight of it was getting a Dustin Pedroia bobblehead doll that he's going to put proudly in his man cave when he gets back home. So Reddick happy to be back at Fenway Park. And guys, back in the day when I used to do this regularly, the Don and Jerry bobble desk was the big craze. So maybe you could get one of those for Reddick.
I'll see what we can do. We got to find one first, though, Tom. They're tough to come by these days.
Yeah, they're collector's items now.
I don't have one. I never got one. Pat Gamere standing next to me says he's got one. He probably got invited into Don's office during the playoffs, too.
Actually, he did, come to think of it.
He did, too?
Yeah, Pat Gamere. Yes, he did. Yeah.
And no Narachi and
no.
And no TC.
Well, TC was an oversight. Narachi wasn't.
Thanks.
No, you were a mistake, Tom. That was clearly a mistake. That should not have happened. Josh Reddick batting out of the 7th spot for the Oakland A's. He's fly to left and fly to center. What's coming up in the Red Sox organization? Selected by the Red Sox in the 17th round back in 2011.
You know, it is amazing how many of those bobbleheads sold. I mean, they're all over the place.
I know.
You get tweets all the time with people, you know, have them on their TVs, and it's pretty cool.
On the ground right side, sliding over is Bogarts to throw to first to retire Reddick. Reddick was drafted in 2006, not 2011. As MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers watching every out-of-market game live and in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit RedSox.com for details. Well, Reddick retired for the first out of the 7th inning as Buchholz has gone 6 1/3. Here's John Jaso. There's the bobblehead desk, Jerry.
That's one down in Florida. That's got to be Florida in the background, right?
Yes, no doubt about it. Looks like Cape Coral even.
I mean, for a while they were selling like crazy.
A grounded foul.
Most of the proceeds going to charity.
Yes. They were limited edition, but they came back again, I think, after the first limited edition.
I was going through my Jimmy Remy days then with the jet black hair and the black mustache.
Curveball snapped off and in there for strike 2. Framed by Brzezinski, but it is away. Another very good outing tonight for Clay Buchholz. Really back-to-back for Buchholz now. After his last outing over the weekend in Toronto and keeping it going here tonight. They thought he had strike 3.
Very close, right at the top of the strike zone. You see that pitch number 5 in yellow coming up on your screen, and didn't miss by very much. Curveball that time from Buchholz.
Next pitch will be the season high for Clay Buchholz in pitches thrown in any outing. And he misses for ball 4. Jaso down to first base. That's the 3rd walk given up by Buchholz of his outing. Here comes John Farrell to make the change. So Clay Buchholz 6 1/3 innings, and the fans will let him know what they think as he heads off. High for Clay Buchholz, and he turns things over now to Andrew Miller, who's been warming up last inning and into the game this inning. As the tall lefty makes his 14th appearance, 1-0, the 2.45 earned run average. 11 innings, 12 strikeouts, 4 walks, and opponents hitting at .220 against Andrew Miller. Well, tonight's suits are designed by Joseph Aboud, custom made in the USA from fine Italian fabrics, now available at Men's Warehouse. Edward Mujica up in behind Andrew Miller here and warming in the pen. It'll be Eric Sogard coming up here to face Miller. Going to be Nick Punto who's going to pinch hit for Sogard instead, the former Red Sox utility infielder. So Punto pinch hitting, and of course he was part of the trade from the Red Sox to the Dodgers, along with Adrian Gonzalez, Carl Crawford, and Josh Beckett. Nick Punto now the Oakland A's. So he pinch hits here for Sogard, likely staying in for him at second base. Sogard tonight had been 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Punto 3 for his last 20. As he jumps back and takes a strike, 1-1. Now, former members of the Red Sox also on this team, and there are 4 others besides Punto: Crisp, Lowry, Moss, and Reddick, all here with the Oakland A's. Walking to that Oakland clubhouse, and it is kind of a weird feeling to see so many former members of the Red Sox, and that includes the pitching coach and Kurt Young.
It's a club you're very familiar with because in your national broadcasts the last couple of years you've done the Oakland A's.
Back-to-back years, the Oakland A's and the Detroit Tigers.
Must be a comfortable feeling for you to be able to go into their clubhouse knowing all those ex-Red Sox players.
Spent a lot of time in there. But yeah, no doubt, especially because they're ex-Red Sox players, it certainly has helped out. This one is line foul. Spent some time with Reddick today before the game. And he had a feeling he's one of those guys that if he had the chance to play on an everyday basis would be a regular major leaguer, but it just was not going to happen here in Boston for him. But going to Oakland helped out.
It's funny how things work out, isn't it? Because when we watched him play here, you weren't quite sure. You didn't see where, all that ability was, and he goes out and gets a chance to play, and then boom, it comes out. And it came out in a big way in Oakland.
32 home runs. Year before last as Punto swings and misses and strikes out. That's out number 2 of the 7th inning. First out for Andrew Miller.
Well, Andrew Miller continues to fire it up to home plate with good velocity. This time it's the breaking ball right here to Punto and gets him off stride. As you sit there and you look for a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, then you get that breaking ball, a little bit tough.
So 2 down. Jaso at first base, held on by Napoli. And it's back up top for Coco Crisp. Crisp 0 for 3 in the game, is lined out, flied out, and grounded out. On the outside corner, 1-1. Miller is the second arm used tonight by Boston, while the Oakland A's have used 5 pitchers in this game. Crisp will take strike 2. Buchholz in line for his second victory of the year. Came in at 1-2. Crisp will foul it off and stay alive. Well, sports can bring you to the edge of your seat and to your feet. It should always bring you to NESN.com, the region's #1 sports site. Comprehensive Red Sox coverage and the most Bruins content in New England. Get live blogs, video, and podcasts found only on NESN.com. 1-2 and a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Miller. It's 7th inning stretch from Fenway. Sox on top, 6-1. Tom Werner and John Lithgow, very talented actor here at the ballpark tonight, along with Red Sox chairman Tom Werner. 6-1, Red Sox have the lead. New second baseman for the A's, Nick Punto, staying in the game as anticipated after he pinch hit for Eric Sogard. And it's on to the bottom of the 7th inning. Dustin Pedroia with a grand slam in the bottom of the 6th inning as Boston on top 6-1. Xander Bogaerts leading it off here in the bottom of the 7th. Amarant's back on the mound again for the A's, and he deals with strike one. Apparently there are some bobbleheads that are available you can purchase, Jerry.
I didn't realize that. Go reading through Twitter during.
This is into center field and a base hit for Bogaerts. He collects his second hit in the last 2 innings. This is the grand slam.
Breaking ball to Pedroia, and he sits right on top of the Green Monster for the home run. It was challenged, but the challenge was upheld. It was not allowed, I should say, and Pedroia had that big hit in the 6th inning.
Yeah, I was surprised. We were going through Twitter in the between innings, and eBay has them for $135.
$135.
What were they originally? They were originally.
I don't know. I don't even remember.
Not even close to that.
That tells you that there is a real need
for more of them.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't spend $135 on a bobblehead.
I kind of like the suit that they had. A.J. Brzezinski batting with Bogaerts at first base. Trying to think what year that might have been. 04, 05, somewhere in there.
It was back when I was dyeing my hair.
When was that?
Geez, that had to be.
I thought it was later than 04, 05 then maybe.
Really?
Yeah. 06, maybe 07.
Well, that was a pain.
Coloring your hair?
Oh, my God, that was awful. You used to have to do it every 2 weeks, because the grays start to come in. You'd have to color it up so, like, people wouldn't notice, like they didn't notice all of a sudden it changed, had a reddish tint to it with the lights on, And then the other thing was doing the mustache. That was like,
You did both?
Well, at first I didn't do the mustache, and then somebody told me, I saw some lady, she says, you got to do the mustache too. You just can't leave that gray. I started doing that, and it became more of a pain in the neck. And I said, what am I doing?
Well, to right center field, falling fast, and Crisp will get there to make the catch. Thought about trying to fire to first because Bogaerts was way off the bag with his secondary lead, but he's back diving safely head first. So every 2 weeks you had to do that.
Every 2 weeks. And it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever done. I mean, because you just take this glob of whatever it is, you got to mix it up, put it in your hand, you got to sit there, with a robe on and just let it sit there for a long time. And then you got to go in the shower and you got to wash it off, and it gets in your eyes, and there's stuff all over the place.
Now, how long would you sit there with this
20 minutes.
In your hair? That's not bad.
No, it is bad.
It's a long time.
I'm telling you, it's bad. And your mustache is all, and it's like it's so dark. Like before you wash it off, I mean, you really look like a clown, And then when you wash it off, you still look like a clown because it's not really your hair.
I do remember that you'd come back off some off days and it kind of looked kind of shoe polishy.
Yeah, nobody.
For the first couple days.
Nobody noticed. In my mind, nobody noticed. And finally got to the point. I said, "What am I doing? Why am I doing this?"
From first and back to the bag is Bogaerts. I didn't realize you had to do it that much. Once every 2 weeks. Wow.
I had this. And it got started. I had
we took a picture at Nessa. I'll never forget this.
I remember that.
And it looked like all I had on the top of my head was a toupee. Because all the side was all gray and it was dark on top. And I said, I got to do something about this. This looks ridiculous, you know. So that's when I decided to try it. And people kept telling me, well, try it. You like it. You know, and at first it was all right, you know, but then it just becomes such a pain in the neck to do. I mean, you got to take the stuff on the road with you in case, you know, if you're on a 2-week road trip, you know, and you're mixing it, and then, it's gross.
Chop to third base. Donaldson to second for 1, on to first for 2. It's a double play that ends the 7th inning. And the good hair coloring talk. 6-1, Red Sox on top. Brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. AT Mobility, the new Scion TC, your New England Ford dealers, and by Southwest Airlines. Now it's 6-1, Red Sox on top of the Oakland A's as we head to the top half of the 8th inning. On for the Red Sox, Edward Mujica becomes a third arm used tonight for Boston. 11th appearance, 1-1. 10.00 earned run average. 6 Ks to 4 walks. The opponent's hitting at .341 against Mujica. And one of the things that has been discussed, some of the problems Mujica has had so far for the Red Sox lie with the amount of use that he's had. He's a guy that likes to work a lot, and it's sort of been sparingly at times, and he's had a tough time kind of getting used to going days in between outings, and they're trying to get him more outings on a regular basis. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, never forgets that before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Don. You know, guys that work out of the bullpen, and especially a guy like Mujica, who, you know, was used a lot last year as a closer and was getting plenty of work. It's tough to get your rhythm out there when you're not getting the proper amount of work, but it's just worked out that way, and hopefully can find a way to get sharp.
Jed Lowry takes strike 2, and it evens at 2-2. Lowry has flied out twice, and last time up lined one out to first base. Fouls it off to the left out of play. Mujica has allowed runs in 6 of his 10 appearances so far in the year. And it started right out of the gate. Home opener for the Red Sox against Milwaukee. Gave up 4 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. In the air, foul down the right field line. Don't miss WB extra innings right after the game. Adam and Jim Rice will break down Clay Buchholz's outing. Get you sound from John Farrell's presser. Can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason. Hooked into right field for a base hit for Lowry. Well, Jed hit the ball hard last time. He had nothing to show for it. He's got a base hit here to begin things in the 8th.
Yeah, that ball that he hit hard last time was in that same direction to Mike Napoli. This time he goes to the right of Napoli to pick up the base hit on the fastball from Mojica. The play that Napoli made on him was going to Napoli's glove side right down the line.
Here's Josh Donaldson, who struck out twice and walked. Grabs the outside corner for strike 1. Clay Buchholz, the 9 pitcher of record for the Red Sox right now. 6 1/3, 3 hits. Gave up a run. He walked 3. 1 was intentional. And struck out 5 in his outing. Line for his 2nd win of the year. Red Sox have a 5-run lead as the A's bat in the 8th. To center field and a base hit for Donaldson. Back-to-back hits to open up the 8th for the Athletics.
Now Donaldson started the game off with 2 strikeouts, then a walk back in the 6th, and now the base hit here in the 8th. A bit toward the end of the bat, but a good location right up the middle with the base hit.
Two on, nobody out. Brandon Moss coming up. Moss 0 for 3. Fly to right, grounded back to the mound, and struck out looking. Action for Boston. Chris Capuano warming up in the pen. Just started out there. Fouled off himself. That hurt for Brandon Moss, who's down 1-2.
Back-to-back splitters from Mojica to Brandon Moss, trying to induce a ground ball for a double play. There's a split-fingered fastball, stays upstairs a little bit, and then fouled right off the foot.
Right off the protective guard. He's already got there, but apparently still hurt. Tap foul, still 1-2. Six runs, 9 hits, an error for Boston. 1 run, 5 hits, and an error for the A's. Oakland coming in after winning all 3 games in Texas to begin this road trip for the A's. Had yesterday off, and tonight trailing 6-1 here in game 1 of the series. Next 2 games, day baseball here from Fenway Park, Saturday and Sunday afternoons. Line and caught by Napoli. Took a look at second base, but could not turn it into a double play. 1 out in the inning. Hit well by Moss, but again, Napoli makes the catch.
Right place at the right time for Mike Napoli. Very quickly looks to second base to see if there's an opportunity for a double play, but there was not. It's that same starting position every time for Napoli. Every infielder does something different. Napoli goes into a crouch. Dustin Pedroia goes into like he's receiving a serve in tennis. All different ways to get yourself started in the infield. Get that quick first step.
Yoenis Cespedes takes strike one from Edward Mujica. Cespedes with a double in the second inning. He struck out in the fourth and then was walked intentionally in the sixth inning. In the air to center field, struck well. Jackie Bradley Jr. going back at the wall, makes the catch. Fires it back in, and having to get all the way back is Donaldson. The throw to first, they'll double him off. Double play, turned by the Red Sox. It starts in deep center field and ends at first base. Center field, and turning this into a double play as Dustin Pedroia was the cutoff man, and they're able to get Donaldson at first base.
Yeah, Donaldson slipped around the bag, had to re-tag second base, and all that was taking a lot of time. Pedroia knew it, spin, sidearm throw to first base, and the Red Sox pick up the double play.
Now Jackie Bradley Jr. to lead it off here in the home half of the eighth inning. And a swing and a miss. Look out. Bat goes flying into the seats.
Very dangerous if you're sitting in those first couple of rows. Fortunately, it looks like it avoided everybody. Well, one guy maybe got it on the arm.
And they will help that gentleman out. Pomerantz has been in there since the 6th inning, back out there for the 8th. And a pitch inside. 2-1. Bradley's been on 3 times in this game, as he hit a double back in the 2nd inning, then walks in the 5th and 6th innings. Swing and a miss and a full count. Pomerantz has been able to calm down the Red Sox offense since coming into the game. As 2 runs charged to the starter, 3 to Dan Otero, 1 to Ryan Cook. Did he go? They check. Yes, he did. And Dan Bellino rings up Bradley Jr. He can't believe it. But on a check swing, he is called out for the swing.
Well, let's take another look at this from Jackie Bradley Jr. Does he go around? A little tough to tell from that angle. This will be a better angle, and yes, I think he did.
So 1 out here in the 8th. Frank Breslow up in the Boston pen. Dustin Pedroia takes ball 1. Pedroia with a walk in the 1st, grounded out in the 2nd, a double in the 5th, and then the big grand slam in the 6th inning. Outside again, 2-1. Trying to go back out again. And it's grounded foul. 2-2. Well, right now, Ace Ticket has your Boston Bruins playoff tickets to Game 2 at TD Garden against the Canadiens tomorrow. Visit aceticket.com or call 1-800-MY-SEATS right now to get your tickets to watch the Bruins take on the Canadiens at the TD Garden tomorrow. Don't miss out. Fouling it off to the right, out of play. No action behind Pomerantz in the bullpen right now for the Oakland A's. They're going to have him go the remainder, it appears, here right now for the A's. Pedroia pops it up foul. That will also get back and out of play. Well, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU Digital Federal Credit Union, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Chef Ron with the latest Fenway fare. Plus, we'll check in on the MLB Notebook. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Good at bat here for Pedroia, and a full count. Pedroia now, Victorino next as the Red Sox bat here in the home half of the 8th. Ball 4, and he draws the 1-out walk.
Now Pedroia on base for the 4th time tonight. A couple of walks, a double, and of course the big grand slam home run.
One on, one out for Shane Victorino. He has struck out, walked, fly to right, and struck out. And Straley on the hook in this game for the Oakland A's. Their starter went 4 1/3, 4 hits and 2 runs. Came into tonight's game 1-1, and tonight marked his 6th start of the year. Strike 2, 0-2. Oakland A's in the top half of the 9th inning will be expecting Callaspo, Reddick, and Jaso 6, 7, and 8. Greg Breslow is still warming in the pen for Boston. On the ground and through the vacated right side into right field. A base hit for Shane Victorino. His first hit of the night. Well, stay tuned tonight following WB Extra Innings for Red Sox Final presented by Esurance. Adam and Jim Rice will have tomorrow's trends and get your preview of John Lester's start in Game 2 of the series here tomorrow. Matched up against Tommy Malone. Two on, one away, and David Ortiz coming up. David has fly to left, popped out to third, struck out and doubled. Red Sox with that base hit by Shane Victorino have upped their total to 10 in the game. Ortiz jumping back out of the way. Jaso with a nice play to the backhand that time to keep it from the backstop. Bradley struck out to begin the inning. Pedroia walked. Victorino with his single. 2 on, 1 out. And a strike to Ortiz. Popped up, foul ground. That'll get back and out of play.
Well, Red Sox also playing some very good defense in this game tonight. A combination of a lot of good things. Napoli with a couple of line drive plays. Jackie Bradley Jr. going back to the wall and picking up the double play on the return throw to Pedroia. Nice little ball game going for the Red Sox here tonight so far.
On the ground, foul. Do it again, 2-2. Ortiz fouls off another. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Boston trying to add on to their 5-run advantage. And a swing and a miss. Elevated, and Ortiz strikes out. Second strikeout for Pomerantz. 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, Pomerantz just goes with the fastball and gets it by Ortiz. This time a little bit away from him. Second time David has struck out, but he's also had a double in this game in that big 6th inning.
Two on, 2 down, and Mike Napoli is looking for his first hit of the night. Only Napoli and Middlebrooks without hits in this 10-hit attack tonight for the Red Sox, although Napoli has been on twice. Intentionally walked and then walked again in the 6th inning. As he takes ball 1. Pedroia at second base, Victorino at first with 2 outs in the inning. That's a strike, 1-1. Napoli to center field for a base hit. Around from second base comes Dustin Pedroia with the 7th Red Sox run of the night. Boston takes a 7-1 lead. Mike Napoli joins the hit parade.
That's a nice swing by Napoli, too. A little bit of an inside-out swing. He got a fastball inside. And you see those hands come inside to get the barrel of the bat on the baseball. Shoots it up the middle of center field to pick up the base hit. Gets the RBI, his 17th of the season. So this offense tonight a little bit more like we expected.
First and second, 2 down, and Grady Sizemore the batter. Sizemore with a double back in the 2nd inning. 1 for 4 game as he swings and misses at the high fastball. Good start to the series for the Red Sox here against the Oakland A's tonight. Inside, 1-1. '30th pitch of the inning coming up. 52nd pitch of his outing, and nobody up in the pen. Again, this is his game. 1-1 fouled back, 1-2. Well, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Men's Warehouse. You get a preview of the lefty matchup here at Fenway Park this week in Sox history. That's tomorrow at 12:30, and it's only on NESN. Lester against Malone tomorrow. Lester 2-4 on the year. Malone 0-2. 1-2 is popped up foul as Donaldson will go as far as he can, but will not have a play. In his own ballpark in Oakland, he would have a play, but not here in Boston.
Yeah, he'd have a lot more room to go in Oakland, wouldn't he, Don?
Yes, he would.
It's like running a marathon to get to the foul lines and to the stands, I should say, in Oakland.
In the air, foul again, and down the left field line, and again this will get into the seats. Further back this time.
I think Jaso got crossed up on that last pitch. He had a funny reaction behind the plate on that swing by Sizemore wants to catch a John Jaso behind the plate, and the reaction he has, almost like he was expecting something other right there than a fastball, and just really kind of ducking out of the way.
Victorino at second base, Napoli at first base, 2 down in the inning, and Grady Sizemore with a count of 1-2. On deck, Xander Bogaerts. On the ground towards shortstop. Lowry will go to first for the out. That ends the inning. We head for the ninth, 7-1 Boston.
Sort of throwback Friday, and I don't know if you guys have seen the moon tonight, but I couldn't help but be reminded of one of my favorite nights doing this for a couple of years. It's the night, Don, you thought a lunar eclipse was when the sun would come between the earth and the moon, and kind of looking like that tonight, but fortunately, as we know, that doesn't really happen.
No, and thankfully, as it turns out, it does not, because we apparently would all be fried if it did.
No, we'd be toast. We'd be toast. When you were saying that, I'm trying to, I'm not a genius, obviously, and I'm trying to figure this out in my mind. I'm saying, wait a minute. If the sun comes that close to us,
yes,
we got no chance.
We're all done.
We're done.
Under my theory, as you put it best at the time, we would not be here.
No, we would not be here. You'd have quite a tan very quickly, and then we'd be gone.
Yeah, the further I got into the explanation, the more I knew I was in trouble. As Craig Breslow comes into his 6th game of the year without a record, a 7.50 earned run average.
Well, I know it's only for one night, but TC, it's been a pleasure having you back.
Got a little cushion, man. It's just warm up.
Alberto Callaspo leading it off here in the 9th inning. Callaspo 0 for 3 in the game. Flied out his last time up to left field. Edward Mujica worked the 8th inning, so he went an inning giving up 2 hits, no runs. Didn't walk anybody, nor did he strike anybody out. Big double play turned by the Red Sox in that inning. Breslow allowed 5 runs, 4 earned on 5 hits, 3 walks in 1 inning against New York back on the 24th of April. Runs and earned runs allowed tied his career high as a reliever. Last time he had given up that much had been 2012. As the pitch down low and a leadoff walk here for Alberto Callaspo. Well, tune in tonight after Red Sox coverage at NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Leadoff walk for Callaspo to begin the 9th, and Josh Reddick being called back here. Going to have a pinch hitter for the Oakland A's. Craig Gentry will pinch hit. Gentry at .317, no homers and a run batted in. With Callaspo at first base, nobody out here in the 9th. Gentry 6 for 18 so far on the road trip for the Oakland A's, hitting at .333. 317 career hitter against Boston. It's a fly ball to center field, playable for Jackie Bradley Jr. 1 down in the 9th. So 1 away for John Jaso. And looks like we'll have another pinch hitter coming up here for the A's. There's Derek Norris, who is going to pinch hit. Norris has had 5 straight multiple hit games, 11 for his last 18. 386, 2 homers, and 12 runs batted in. He's a guy that appears to really have fit in very nicely with last year's edition of the Boston Red Sox. How about that thing?
I mean, there's a lot going on there.
I mean, he could hit right in between Gomes and Napoli in last year's order without any problem.
It's like he's been in the woods for the last 4 years.
Yeah. He climbed out of the woods for this at bat.
I tell you though, this guy's hot. He had a big series against the Texas Rangers.
Outside for ball 2.
That's what you ought to go with, Don.
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so. I don't think that'd be good for me.
Not necessarily the beard, but maybe the hair in the back, you know?
Outside for ball 3.
He and Coco Crispo were both the stars of that Texas series where the Oakland A's just swept them down in Texas.
In there for a strike and a full count. In the air to left center field, coming over is Sizemore from left, and Bradley Jr. is going to call him off and make the catch. Collision averted there. 2 down in the inning. So 2 outs. Callaspo at first base, and Punto coming up again. He had pinch hit in the 7th inning, gets his second at bat of the night. Punto struck out in the 7th. Outside for ball one. Seven runs, 11 hits, an error for Boston. A run on 5 hits and an error for the A's. Off the end of the bat, foul, and it's 1-1. Punto has now appeared in 15 games at second base, made 9 starts there for the A's. He's also made 5 starts at shortstop. Line foul, and it's 1-2. Just a 167 average for him here at Fenway Park. 2 down here in the 9th. The count of 1-2 to Nick Punto. In the air, down the left field line, foul.
That's a nice look.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the 9th. Strike 3 call, and the Red Sox win. Breslow able to strike out Punto to end the ball game in a much-needed victory for the Red Sox tonight as they take the first game of this 3-game series against the Oakland A's. Grand slam for Dustin Pedroia, all part of this victory for Boston as they win it 7-1. Clay Buchholz gets the win in this Boston victory. Let's send it to Adam Pellerin.